akakele ukuthi kwenzakaleni volume nje no
Okay. Let's take Honorable Stone Paula.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Greetings once more to yourself, Chairperson, to the honorable members, the honorable MEC, acting HOD, the department, and Dr. Dlamuka Mafa and the team. Thanks for the presentations. I'm also going to be short, Chair, because, like we said, this is a repeat of our last meeting. But to Amafa, my comment will be firstly on the issue of the compensation of employees, your percentage, Dr. Dlamuka. It's very high, Chairperson, MSc. It's at 48%. What this tells us as politicians is that we've got a lot of money going to employing people, and we have got very little going to provide services to communities. Over time, this is something to be monitored and addressed so that we reduce the percentage that goes to paying for salaries, and we increase the percentage that goes to service delivery. Secondly, I remember whether we were addressed on the issue of the merger between Amafa and the Scotland issue. Because in the budget presentation, I didn't hear much from Amafa, the programs that pertain to what was then Moses Kotane Institute, if that has happened. And I think last time we were addressed by Dr. Dlamuka, he did say that the term of the current board had come to an end. I don't know if the new board is in place. If it is not, Chair, it's a matter of concern again to government, to both the MEC and the Premier, because I don't know what's happening in South Africa, Chair. We do know that at a particular time, the board is going to expire. And I don't know why powers that be would wait so that there is a vacuum before a new board gets elected. This thing should not happen. Because as soon as the new board exits its term of office, a new board should already be in place to be put in so that there is no vacuum. I don't know. Like I said, I wanted the MEC to hear this because I think it goes directly to the office of the MEC and the office of the Premier. And lastly, to Amafa, Chairperson, thanks for taking those previous issues into consideration, the issues of maintenance. Of course, it's going to be a long haul to addressing issues. I just wanted to make one addition, which comes to my mind as a recollection of the issues that, in respect of the archives of the province, kunendawo lapha eShowe umuzi weLembe waBulawayo. Ngiyakhumbula ukuthi kwakunenkinga of people who were encroaching and even turning the surrounding areas into a grave site, and I think that was stopped some time ago. But after that was stopped, I don't know if any developments have taken place, because it's a very important location for the people of KwaZulu to say, "Bila waklaya khona iLembe la." Okwathi ubani lo wabulawayo eZimbabwe, umzilikazi uma esuka la wafika eZimbabwe wayeseqamba indawo yakhe ngokuthi kwaBulawayo, which is very significant to what he had left in KwaZulu. Now, in Zimbabwe, you've got a whole town called Bulawayo. In South Africa, the original Bulawayo is being demolished. It's not recognized. It's something that we have got to do something about, that area in Ashore, which originally is the homestead of King Shire. I wanted to raise those issues pertaining to Amafa. And to the department, it's a repeat of what Honorable Sonji just said. It's a concern that yesterday you get the finance MEC telling us that sport, art and culture have surrendered 36 million back to the coffers of the province. On the other side, Tina, we are saying you are underfunded. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense really as to how can you surrender money when you come to us and appeal that we must appeal for you to get more funds. But the little that you get, you don't spend. And it's not the first time. But what I also wanted to find out from the department, because the stories we get told is that this is voluntary surrender. But when we spoke to you, you said that you were forced to do so. Now, I want to get it from you, CFO. Did you voluntarily surrender or you were coerced again to surrender this 36 million? Department, but otherwise, those are the issues that I just wanted to find clarity on. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Kaula. And Honorable Sonjeka for raising those issues. I'm sure the AMAFA department will respond.
For the committee, let me start with the issue of KwaBulawayo. We're having a meeting on the 12th of April with different stakeholders trying to address this. Our council has gone there. We've been there. We're now trying to find out the lasting solution so that it can be brought back to an expected dignity. So, so the meeting is set on the 12th of April with Ladas Municipality, King Kajwa Municipality, our colleagues from tourism, ATIA, and colleagues from the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture, who are also responsible in that area. So it's being addressed. It's a concern that we are dealing with. With regards to, it is true that the term of council expires today. Chair, there is a process that that was started. Thank you. I was saying that term of office, the council of KZN is coming to an end today. Unfortunately, it got delayed, but it is very much advanced. I think that's where I can say the panel has made recommendations, and there is a consideration, and the department is understanding the council ibe khona, and maybe angime lapho for now. The issue of our cost, yes, we are a bit high in terms of COE. We are very much a labor-intensive organization, but we are going to try by all means to ensure with our new expenditure on COE so that we can have maneuverability to be able to deliver programs. Regards to the merger with Moses Kotane, angakaze ngizwe, Chair. But what I can say is that AMAFA are established by legislation, and also they are established by a national legislation. So we've had this situation in other provinces where they were trying to match our entities, but it hasn't been possible to match a heritage entity because of the nature of its establishment, the legalities around it. So although we haven't been, I haven't had any engagement, but at a national level and at the global level in the province, there have been some attempts, but I haven't seen anyone, any province, because of the legalities that are associated. Section 23 of the National Heritage Resources Act. Thank you.
Honorable Chair, I will be responding in relation to the finance-related questions. Infrastructure, planning and monitoring, as well as the amount that is actually being surrendered by the department. The department indeed had a challenge with infrastructure projects. We're doing them with municipalities, and we had an agreement that they will construct those sport fitness centers, and construction was going to be in phases, and we started making payments. So we made payments for phase 1, phase 2, but on the ground, the construction was not in line with what we had agreed to. Hence, a team was established by the accounting officer, Dr. Ndlovu, to actually go to the sites to do assessment. Because in terms of the PFMA, when you do the transfer should be in terms of the intended purposes. The reason why we're transferring was for the construction of the infrastructure at those 4 municipalities. But the construction was actually not moving, but the department was making transfer payments, and that is not in line with the PFMA. So the requirement in terms of the PFMA is that if the beneficiary or the receiving officer is not performing in terms of the agreement, the department has a responsibility to withhold the transfers until the matter is resolved. Hence, the department was therefore unable to proceed with the transfers that were earmarked for the financial year 2022-23. Therefore, the department had to engage Treasury in terms of what was going to happen with that money. We had about 52 million that was to be transferred in the financial year 2022-23. We also had received requests from another municipality that had swimming pools that had to be refurbished, and there were sport facilities that needed also to be repaired. So as a department, we requested that some of this money, about 23 million, we requested that instead of it being taken back to Treasury, we said we have a request from municipality. The bulk of the money was eThekwini because of the issues with the swimming pools. I think it was even in the newspapers. So we said eThekwini, they did a business plan, they submitted, we supported, even MEC supported, and it went to Treasury. We requested that 23 million, as per the business plan that was done by eThekwini, we requested that Treasury approve that this money be transferred to eThekwini. We also had Winston Churchill, the construction that went faster than we had anticipated, and we had payments that we needed to make. There was a 16 million that had to be paid. And then the balance that actually remained was about 13 million. So we sent a request for the 23 million for eThekwini, the 16 million for Winston Churchill. Treasury, or should I say the MINCOMPAT, the budget committee, the ministerial budget committee, only approved the 16 million for the Winston Churchill. The 23 million for eThekwini was not approved. So instead of the 13 million that was going to be surrendered, then we received a letter that indicated that we must surrender 36 million. So we did not volunteer 36 million as a department. The only amount that remained was the 13 million that we could not spend because it was within the transfer payments, and any introduction of new transfers needed a consultation with Treasury as well as the legislature. So the surrender was not 36 million. So going forward, the team that the accounting officer has established is actually monitoring the infrastructure projects, because in fact we are ahead in terms of the payments. We've paid for phase 2, yet they are still in phase 1. So the municipalities were engaging with them to sort of speed up the process of construction. And once we are satisfied that they are actually continuing with the projects, then we will consider to make further transfers. I think, thank you.
Thank you, CFO. MSC, your last word. Is there any response from the question or any addition? Are you still with us, MEC? All members, MEC usaphuzitiye singendlula. Let's move to item 7. Item 7. I'll start with members who are on virtually. Honorable Majola, are you still with us? Felix?
Yes, Honorable Chair. Greetings, apologies. Yes, I am still with you. I'm still with the meeting. Thank you.
Okay, we are adopting now the 2023-24 budget and APP. The item for adoption now.
Thank you once more, Honorable Chair. I move for adoption. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Honorable Majola. Okay. Then I'll move to honorable members. We have Mike.
Chairman,
Mike. Yes, ma'am.
I apologize. I could not hear clearly. I just got a text that I'm.
No problem, MEC. We've moved to another item now.
Thank you. Apologies to the meeting.
Okay. Okay. You start on that side from Honorable Riley.
Thanks, Honorable Chair. I support the budget and the APP. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Greeting your chairperson and all my colleagues and the members from the official desks. I don't have any problem to support this budget.
Yes.
Honorable Kulu, I do support both APP and the budget. Thank you. Honorable
Umegabisa. Qedela Xabash.
Ngiyabonga sihlalo. I also accept both. Honorable Tulu, I support both the APP and the budget. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, thank you. Peace.
Hayi ngiyathokoza sihlalo uxolo uzedla isikhathi zami. Mhlambe before ngifike kwi-APP nebudget sihlalo ngifuna ukubuyela kancane kule yama changes aphoqwe i-executive. You see, Chairperson, you don't have to let these things go get away like this. Because in terms of the constitution, the executive cannot just willy-nilly do changes to a budget that we approved as a committee. It went to the House and the House approved it. Because these changes that the CFO is talking about were supposed to have come to the committee first. We deal with them as the committee. And then they go to the House through us and not through the executive. Now you see, these things will continue to happen when the executive encroaches on the powers that they don't have and we let it go. And the department comes to us and say, we don't have enough money because the executive has taken their money, and they get to the House and they misinform us. Because what happened yesterday was misinformation, like it happened again 2 years ago. We were misinformed. We always deal with issues on the basis of being misinformed and not getting properly informed. Because if this had come to us, we were not going to agree to say art, sports, culture money be taken to somewhere else when it's needed for other projects in this department. Bengifuna ukusho lokho ngesihlalo. Angazi ukuthi nizokulungisa kanjani-ke nina abaphathi. Kodwa-ke mase sibuya kulokhu kwakho-ke sihlalo cha iqembu lenkatha yenkululeko likaMntwana waphinda angene nohlabisa o-VF abaholi bethu lithi hayi asiqhubeke nako lokho enisinikeza kona bheke phambili.
Yabonga.
Ngiyakhuleka sihlalo baholi bonke. Hayi ngiyamukela isabelo nkece. Thokoza.
Sihlalo supporter i-budget ne-APP of both the department and NAMAFA.
Just against that.
Ngiyabonga sihlalo. Nakuba ngisalile kuma question kodwa ke sengokhuluma eceleni lokho bengifisa clarity kona. Ngifisa ukwamukela i-budget kanye ne-APP kokubili. Siyinhlangano kaKhongolose. EzikaThambo lenyo kalihlabela imzondayo. Ezikathi Oliver Tambo.
Siyabonga Mntakathambo. Jolos. Honorable Chola.
Thank you, Chair. Let me also welcome the presentations that have been done. Noma Kiki Majola, Olusapho Luka Khongolose. Uyayamkela i-budget ngokunjalo ne-APP yayo ukuthi makaqhubeke phambili umbutho wesizwe.
Siyabonga abahlonishwa. Sibonge kakhulu we have come to the end of the meeting. Thank you very much. Ilunch is besilinda 11 bahlonishwa. Sele nje imizuzwana siyocela sithi ukubekezela kancane. Iyalunga khona manje. Yeah. Thank you very much. The meeting adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, members. Thank you so much. Thank you.